Hi everyone, today I want to introduce you to Pythagoras, a personal finance planner built for Notion. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the planner, its layout, and all of its features. But before we begin, I want to talk a bit about who Pythagoras is for. Pythagoras is for you if you want a complete system for keeping track of and logging your personal finances. This includes your income, expenses, and budgeting. It also offers solutions for keeping track of upcoming expenses, as well as insurance, assets such as your emergency funds, stocks, and bonds, as well as money that you may owe others or other institutions, and money that others may owe you. Now, this planner is not for you if you are looking for a completely automated system that syncs between your personal banking provider and Notion. The transactions and everything that you will see inside of Pythagoras has to be logged manually, right? But I do think that this is a good thing. I think that especially if you are new to personal finance planning, that this is going to build your financial awareness and it's going to help you to develop good and healthy financial habits, especially in the long term. So now that we have that out of the way, let's go right ahead and dive into Pythagoras. All right, so once you've purchased the template and you've duplicated it to your workspace, you are going to come to this page, which I refer to as the home page. All right, this homepage contains 5 main sections. You have the mobile dashboard here. You have a main menu of your most frequently used databases. You have an area for transactions, which includes tracking your income, monthly expenses. You have a budgeting area. And lastly, you have an area for notes. And this notes area is actually a synced block. You know that it's a synced block because in Notion you will see this red box around the block. And this syncs up with the Notion, with the notes page right here. So if you are on the go and if you're using your mobile device to log any notes, this page being at the top of the mobile dashboard is going to allow you to quickly add in anything that you might want to remember. And it's going to sync up at the bottom here because this is going to be closest to your budgeting area and your transactions area. So let's dive into the mobile dashboard up here. Now, the mobile dashboard, it serves two purposes. You get a nice overview of all of the different areas and all of the different pages within Pythagoras, but it also means that, or rather, it also provides you, each of these pages provides you with a gallery view, which makes it a lot easier for you to log expenses, especially on a mobile device. I will have a short video that shows you how Pythagoras is on mobile, but you can see here that if you wanted to quickly log an expense, which is your cash outflow, you can easily come in on a mobile and add a new expense very quickly, as opposed to having a table view such as this, where you kind of have to scroll to the bottom and click new. So that's the purpose of the mobile dashboard. And each of these pages, I'll just go through each of them. So you can see here we have accounts. This is the same view that you see in the main menu. We have income. So you can see all of your income for the current month. Cash outflow, as I would have shown you just now. We have all of our assets, things like our emergency funds, etc. We have budget, insurance, so all of our active insurance policies and plans. We have subscriptions. We have our upcoming expenses. So here you're going to see how far along you are in saving for this upcoming expense. And it also tells you here you have, for example, $600 saved of your $2,500 goal. For liabilities, which is money that you are owing to someone else, let's say you're owing Jane this amount of $1,000, you've already paid off 500, and you know that you have 500 owing still. We also have debtors, so you can see anybody that's owing you money as well. And we have a reports page. I'm going to go into the reports page a bit in depth, and then we'll go through the rest of the planner. So the reports page is going to give you reviews and really overviews of both your monthly spending as well as your annual spending. So we can see our monthly income in a board view. We can see our income by category, and this is grouped by date as month. We can see our monthly expenses showing up here, as well as our expenses by category. And this is a board view as well. And then we can have a look at our monthly savings. So all of that, these are the reports that you can see on a monthly basis. And of course, guys, you can customize this however you want it to be. Everything is, you can filter based on this month. You can filter, you can even change up how you want this to show as you use Pythagoras. You can customize it for yourself. Right? We also have an annual review, so you can see your annual income. This is grouped by month, and these are toggles that you can collapse if you don't need to see a current month. And the same for your expenses. You can see all of your expenses, and you can collapse this toggle as well. And of course, lastly, you can see your annual savings as you go along. So this is the report section of Pythagoras. Let's go back to the home page. Alrighty, so we have a documents area, and I included this because I found that sometimes when I am doing things kind of on my laptop, let's say I have a meeting with a financial advisor or anything like that, and that person sends me helpful documents that I can use, whether it's an insurance agent or whomever it is, I can drag these documents into here. Quite literally, just from my downloads folder, I can drag it in, or from the email. That way, all of your documents, anything related to your personal finances, is in one place that you can reference later on. After documents, we have an area for taxes. Now, I did not, of course, taxes is different. The way that you do taxes is different in your country. So I put this page here so that you can have a checklist and actually go and research, if you have not done taxes yet. So this is really for if you're new to planning your personal finances, or if you just want somewhere to store a checklist as a reminder of the things that you need to do, so you can have whatever this step is, and you can even put reminders. So let's just say this is step 1 of your taxation process for filing your taxes. You can put at remind me tomorrow or remind me on whichever date, and you will get a notification inside of your Notion workspace for when you need to do this step. And I think that's really helpful, especially to stay on top of things like your taxes. Last but not least, we have this admin page. This is the last page inside of the mobile dashboard, and you can see these are all master databases. And what I mean by master databases is that every database that you see on the home page, all of these databases here, all of these here, these are all linked databases. They are linked databases of these master databases here, or the original databases here on the admin page. You know that it's a linked database if you click on the tab of the database that you want, and you click Show Database Title. You're going to see this arrow here. Each of these databases, if you click show database title, you will see this arrow here. This means that it is a linked database. And I have this set up this way so that if, for example, you make a mistake and you delete a database or you delete any of these things here, you can easily come back and create that linked database back inside of your main on the home page of Pythagoras, right? So you can see that if I click into each of these, if I click into, let's say, cash outflow, I have all of the views here that you can easily link. So let me show you an example of that, right? Let's say that I'm on the home page and I make a mistake and I delete the transactions area. If I wanted, I'm not going to actually delete it, but if I wanted to bring that back, I could do the / and create a linked view of that database. I can go to the database that I want, which is the cash outflow database, and I can select the view that I want to bring back, whether it's the current month. I'll click that, and that way we have here the linked view back again, and you don't have to hassle and try to figure out how exactly you're going to bring that back onto your homepage. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that now. But that's the purpose of having these master databases inside of the admin section. All right. And that's it for your mobile dashboard. Let's move now on to the main menu. And I want you to think of the main menu as your action base. So this area, both the main menu and your transactions area, as an action base. What do I mean by that? You see accounts. These numbers, you will be able to see them, you will see them change as you log your transactions in the monthly expenses, for example. So let's say I'm just using an example here. Let's say I make another deposit, or rather, let's say I go out and I eat something at Bisu. Then I'm going to, let's say that meal costed me $150. And I click my account primary. So I want you to look up here and you will see this number decrease as soon as I click on the primary account. And there you saw that it went down to the number that it is now. So I like having this layout of seeing the account balances on top here, and also noticing how this changes when I add expenses. It kind of makes you more aware of the spending that you're doing when you actually see the account balance going down. So, and it doesn't only hold for accounts, it holds for assets. You know, if you are coming in here and you're adding a new asset, that means that you're taking money out of your whichever account it is, most likely your primary account, or even let's say your savings, and you are putting it into your assets. And I would have done examples of all of this in the demo video, so I'm not going to go too in-depth. The demo video is already quite long. I'm not going to go too in-depth with that here, but you can see that any of the relations that are linked here, they show up in the databases above here. So we can see that I made a life insurance payment, and I can see this was the actual payment that is being linked here. And really and truly, that is how you can go about monitoring, managing your expenses in this nice little hub of Pythagoras. And that's at least how I use it. And maybe you may want to use it differently, but that's how I found it to be the most efficient. Right. So let's move from the main menu and the transaction area down to our budget. As you can see, the budget is showing you how much money you have left in each of your budgeted categories. So really and truly, these should be paid because they are all empty. This is a manual process. There is a formula that you can use to kind of have this automated. But again, I find that doing it manually kind of helps build that awareness of, okay, it's almost like a checklist, actually. That's how I use it. I use it as a checklist. So as soon as I drag my recurring expenses up into here, I check off paid. So I know that this bill was paid. I may not pay all of my bills on the same day. It depends on when they may come. So that's why I don't have it necessarily automated. It's more of a mental checklist for myself. But yes, this is your budgeting area. You set your budgeting, the amount that you want to spend on each of these categories that you would have laid out in the setup guide at the beginning. And at the beginning of the month or the end of the month, whenever you do your monthly planning routine, you can go ahead and check off the bills that you would have paid after you've added them to your expense database. So you can see here, I have phone bill, which is a bill. I have rent, internet, electricity for March. All of these are here, and you can see that they are all zero. I would have spent some money on groceries, $750. Every number that you see here is in TT dollars, Trinidad and Tobago dollars. So don't be alarmed. This is not US dollars that I'm using here. But yeah, one important thing that you want to note about the budget is that you need to remove these relations here at the end of the month or whenever you're doing your budgeting for the upcoming month. You're going to need to remove these relations because that's the only way to reset the budget, the progress bars. So at the end of the month, once you've done once you're starting a new month, I would just come here, highlight all of these cells and click delete to remove all of them. And then I can go ahead and start budgeting for the upcoming month. That's just something to note. And essentially, that is it for Pythagoras. I mean, it's a really nice system. It works for me. As I said, it's not an automated process. You do have to come in here and be mindful about the transactions that you're making. But as I said, I do think that that is a good thing, especially if you are trying to build your financial knowledge and you're trying to build healthy habits. So I hope this video was helpful, and I hope that if you do purchase Pythagoras, you enjoy it, and any feedback that you have, any questions, please feel free to contact me. All of my information is in the setup guide in this little call out block here. So that's it, and I really do hope that you enjoy Pythagoras.